So on day one of a triple wedding weekend, I fell off of a chair and into the gift card table. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Mike, DJ Access here, and we're trying to build a better DJ community together. Today, I'm at Understory, but in the later parts of this video, I will actually be at two other venues. That's right, it is a triple wedding weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So today I'm at Understory, tomorrow I'm back home, Jorgensen Farm, Oak Grove, and then one of my other favorite venues, Swan Lake Event Center. So it's gonna be a pretty crazy weekend. I think I only have an assistant for one of the shows, so it's gonna be a nice test for me to load in, load out, take care of everything, stay on task, and still have the energy that I need to deliver the kind of weddings that my couples have come to expect. So along the way, I'm sure there'll be teaching moments. I'll check in with those and let you know kind of how I'm feeling each day to kind of keep an idea of what a triple wedding weekend looks like and what it feels like on your body. Today is Thursday, so it is my off day from the gym, so I'm feeling extra refreshed today, but I'm still planning on making it to the gym Friday and Saturday before the wedding days and still having to do a lot of the load in and tear down by myself. So I'm not complaining, I'm just letting you guys know what it is. And we're gonna make sure that I do my voice warm-ups every day so that on day 3, Saturday, my voice isn't hoarse, it's not dragging, I'm just as excited as I am today. So we'll check back in with a few more teaching moments with Mike, DJ Access, triple wedding weekend. Okay, so I mentioned before that I was at Understory here on a Thursday, and Thursday weddings become more popular. This is my second Thursday wedding this year. I had one last year, and I even had a Tuesday wedding earlier this year. I think I did a video on that earlier in the channel, so check that out. But you can see, Understory is a tiny venue. I wanted to bring my full setup today because I know that Tanisha and John love lighting. They go to music festivals, Breakaway, Electric Forest, so they know what concert style lighting looks like, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I looked at pictures of the venue, I talked to some of my DJ friends who'd been here, and I just couldn't in good faith bring my full setup, and I'm glad I didn't because the elevator was stacked today. People going in and out, some people had left their stuff in the elevator, so there would have been no way for me to get my Toadmatic, my big light show in. So this is what we're working with today. It should be fine. I might add a second speaker, but I want to save as much space as possible and didn't want to, if you guys can kind of see right here, there's a table right in front, and I didn't want to blast this table. This speaker should do just fine, and if it doesn't, I will add a second one. So we're about to let people in the doors now. There's something else I want to bring up about the smaller setup today. So in your contract or maybe even your sales meeting, I don't always promise a specific setup. So my contract says 2 sound system and lights. So I know I'm gonna bring a second sound system for a cocktail hour, the ceremony, whatever that is, sound system for the main setup, and then lights. And I'm vague on purpose because I'm a big believer in using the right tool for the right job. So if I had to come in here with my Toadmatic and I don't even know if I would have gotten into the elevator, but imagine how much more space that would have taken up. I mean, let's give you the wide shot here. You know, that's our dance floor tonight. If you can imagine me bringing out my Toadmatic and my big 15-inch subs, big speakers, it just would have looked ridiculous in here. So again, having the right tool for the right job is important. What up, guys? We're just about to start Toast, and I thought of a really good teaching moment. Sorry, everyone just started singing Mariah, so I have it a little bit louder than I normally would. But before you start Toast, make sure that the sweetheart table is cleaned off. They don't want to see that in pictures. You'll save your photographer friends some editing and post, removing the food and all that. Drinks are okay, but food, in my opinion, should be removed, so you can ask the staff. They'll take care of that before you do Toast. We're back for day 2 of the triple wedding weekend. This time we're home sweet home, Jorgensen Farms, Oak Grove with Jim and Maddie. And this wedding is very interesting because I wasn't the original DJ that they booked. So they went through my sister company, Beat Squad Entertainment, and their DJ got booked for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity with the Big Ten Network. Some of you guys know who I'm talking about. So when you get an opportunity like that, they talked with the couple and agreed to have me switch in. So the room for error tonight is very, very low. When you already have an issue within the booking or the selling process, when the day comes, you have to be extra sharp. So that's what we're gonna do today. Every wedding's the Super Bowl, but again, we're putting just a little bit of extra emphasis on it because the Super Bowl switched their entertainment halfway through the booking process. Last night I had set up with my smaller system, and today we're back with my full Toadmatic setup, which I really appreciate. I got here at 2, and by 3 o'clock I was already ready to go, and with an hour to spare. So no assistant today even. And I've been doing that more and more this month just to see how it feels, save some money. I'm doing a good job of getting out and getting content. I think for the super involved weddings, the things where there's a ton of moving pieces and I might want someone on the other side, I'll still use an assistant. But I mean, I know this venue like the back of my hand, and nothing on the timeline is especially tricky. So I should have no problem today. Like I said, I got here early, set up early, and now I can prepare and film content for you guys. If there's any teaching moments, I'll let you know. So let's talk about last night. Thursday wedding, small 70 to 80 person crowd, and it wasn't bad, but it did ebb and flow as the bride and groom were on and off the dance floor. So when they were on the dance floor, rockin' party, me shooting the content, going crazy, and then they would take a break or leave the dance floor, and in about 10 minutes I would lose the crowd. Like I said in a previous section, there were a lot of activities, games, a nice patio. It was a nice night in Ohio. It was a nice night to be outside, and they would come back, energy would go back up, and we kind of did that the whole time. We ended with a decent crowd, and the bride and groom were very, very happy with how it went. So was it the craziest wedding? No, but on a Thursday with the small crowd, I was very happy with how it went. I did, however, while I was shooting content, I looked at this folding chair, and I was like, this isn't a good idea, but it was a really good moment. And you guys know I'm gonna do anything to capture those really great moments for you all. So I got up on this folding chair, I'm getting the content, and I feel that the chair is a folding chair, I feel the back go out. And I'm holding, $5,000 worth of camera equipment, and I'm looking down, and I start to fall, I lose it. I might even have a clip of me actually going down because the camera was on. So luckily there was a gift card table right next to me, so I kind of used that to break myself. I had the camera in this hand. Even if I go down, that camera can't go down. So I had camera in this hand, I kind of reached down, knocked over the gift card table, caught my balance, and left with just a small bruise on my right leg, which has already kind of gone away, and there's no pain, but I definitely felt that for the rest of the night. So if it's a folding table, do not get on top of it. I will not be doing that anymore, because all I could think about when I caught myself was, man, if that had gone wrong, and I have 2 more weddings this weekend, that could have been very, very bad. So luckily we made it through. Hopefully the yoga and the balance training maybe got me out of that one. So, but as far as how I feel today going into wedding number 2, feel absolutely great, 99%. I mean, that bruise this morning was hurting, but it's fine now. So I'm almost 100%. Hit the gym, got a nice lift in, and I'm actually gonna post a video in my reels about back pain and DJs and making sure you're ready for events like this. So look for that in the shorts or my reels on my Instagram at DJAXCSSMUSIC on everything. So that being said, my routine, I got home around midnight, maybe midnight 05, and typically I'd play like an hour and a half of video games to kind of wind down, to get my mind tired, because I'm really amped up from the wedding and I didn't have a long drive home. So I usually play a few video games. Tonight I wanted to be extra careful since I wanted to get my rest. Went straight to bed, woke up, yoga, gym, ate lunch, and as soon as I was done with that last chicken tender, I was on my way here. So we got here at 2 o'clock for a 4 o'clock guest arrival. We aren't even playing music for the ceremony. They have musicians for ceremony and cocktail hour, so we are just providing mics. Everything's set up, ready to go. I'm just sitting here reviewing notes, making content, and getting ready for the day with Jim and Maddie. What up, everybody? This is day 3, headed to the car and to the gym. I am definitely feeling it today. Definitely feeling it. Today I woke up and was cramping up a little bit, so I just got to focus on getting more water in, but we're still gonna make it to the gym. Just completed yoga. Yoga felt really, really good today. And we got Ellen and Jake tonight at Swan Lake, another venue that I love. So I will check back in with you later. I didn't get as much video last night as I wanted to, but I got a lot of great vertical video, but I just forgot to get horizontal. So that'll be a focus for today as well. We're here at Swan Lake for wedding day 3. Ellen and Jake Wheeler tonight, and I have everything set up in the main space. I have about 35 minutes of extra time. There were some light programs last night that I was using that I feel like didn't hit the way I wanted to. So what I'm gonna do right now is just go in and redo the programs. I'm using Sound Switch as well as the program Capture. And Capture is very, very, very expensive. I do not recommend it to all DJs, but what it does is I don't have to have my lights set up in order to change the programming. So there's no way with the glare that I could show you what's going on here, but basically I've created a 3D model of my light show, and then I can go into Sound Switch, send that information to that program Capture, and then see what my lights are gonna look like before I even set them up. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I wish I could show you guys my screen and do a quick time lapse here, but I don't think it's gonna work. I'll give it a shot. All right, guys, I moved inside. Hopefully you can sort of see what I'm doing here, and maybe my editor will do a time lapse just showing you some of the different light shows. So what I felt I was missing in my show was every time that there was a big drop, I always do my classic volume going up, the pixel mapping volume going up, kind of like that. It took me a long time to design, so I try to use it as much as I can, but I don't have a secondary one. So if there's another big drop right after that, I kind of am just doing the same thing over and over. So what I'm gonna do is design a secondary drop, and there was a few where I have the top lights flash to the beat, like on the 2. I'm gonna go in and instead of just the top 2 lights, I'm gonna make it the top 4 lights, or even what might be cool is the top 2 and the bottom 2 and leave the middle ones static, so it's at least adding a little bit of light to the dance floor. I think we're gonna do that. So I'll record a little bit, could record my screen and send it, but I'm gonna be switching back and forth between the programs, so I don't know if that's going to be effective. So this is Capture. You can't see it yet, but I've programmed my light show in here. So if I bring up my auto loops, color chase from bank 2, this is all my quarter beat, you'll see. Yeah, so you can see my light show there. And we're just gonna do some programming changes. This is the program I just created. You might be able to see in the bottom there that the up lights are on a flash and fade, and then the tube lights are doing this kind of like random chase thing. I always want 2 lights on so there's enough light on the dance floor, but I want them dancing to the beat like that. Very concert-esque. What's also cool is I have a Sound Switch document, and that lets me know every different program that I've created. So I'm gonna go in and change the one I just made. Okay, day 3 of the triple wedding weekend. I'm here at Swan Lake Event Center, which again is one of my favorite venues. I mean, look at what we got behind me. Absolutely gorgeous. They actually have real swans in here. They're always good for photo ops. They got the ducks too. Beautiful ceremony space. I tried to get a little 360 drone shot, which I'm hoping turns out well. Maybe I'll show it to you here. For the grand entrance at Swan Lake, the DJ's on one side, and there's a really nice balcony on the other side of the room where people enter. I saw on YouTube, I love watching those giglogs that DJs like me do, where it shows you the entrance, and one of them started off with, "Welcome to the wedding of bride and groom," only of course they said their names, and it got a really nice reaction from the crowd. I was like, hey, that's a cool way to celebrate it. Usually I would not say the bride and groom's name until they're actually being introduced, and you'll see why. But I started off like that, got a nice big round of applause, and then from the balcony I see Jake and Ellen enter, and so I had to pivot, kind of reverse my notes, get everyone standing up, excited. They walked down, and in the time that they walked from the balcony to their seat, I was able to acknowledge the wedding party and kind of build up the day as I normally would. So even as a, I don't know how many year veteran, there's still some surprises, but it's all about adaptation and making sure that it works for you. So that was my little hiccup today. Hopefully that's the worst thing that happens. And again, I don't think anyone besides me and maybe the media team knows that that went down. So always check in with your couples. Normally there's a wedding party, so you have to check in. Hey, here's where you guys are gonna go, remain standing. standing, but because this was such a unique venue and, you know, the balcony is such a cool place to be, I just thought, you know, they're gonna hear their names, they're gonna do it just like they did. They did nothing wrong. That was all on me this time, not preparing them for the grand entrance. Again, not a big deal, not worried about that at all. So let's talk about last night. Last night I was at Jorgensen Farms Oak Grove, and Dad was the star of the show. I mean, obviously the bride and groom were the stars of the show, but, you know, supporting cast, best supporting actor was father of the bride. He gave a very, very, very nice speech. And typically when there's a long speech, people equate long speeches with bad speeches. Not the case. This was long, but it was polished. It was very meaningful, heartfelt, and it really got people in the mood to celebrate on the dance floor later. But that being said, we started out with some disco, which everybody danced to, but about 25 minutes into my set, everyone kind of made a mass exodus for the bar. So there's 2 bars in Jorgensen. There was one on the outside space, and then there was one in the foyer, both away from the dancing areas. So it took about a half an hour to get everybody back in. Of course, bride and groom left to be with their friends, and I was left with maybe 4 to 8 people on the dance floor. Never lost it, but 4 to 8 people is not the kind of dance floor that people typically book me for. Now, we had almost 3 hours of dancing, so I wasn't too worried about it, but I was worried about it, I'm not gonna lie. I was sweating a little bit and wondering, oh man, are they gonna come back? Is this an outdoor crowd? Did I read this couple wrong? Luckily, they came back, and the groom said, hey, we're ready for some of my house music stuff that I wasn't sure was gonna work, because he had told me to save that for later in the night. He told me to save that for later in the night as people got more drunk, but as soon as they got back in from the bar, he was ready to hear those songs. And I noticed that the groomsmen were going crazy, but the rest of the party wasn't. So I pivoted, used my ability with stems to add some acapellas on top of the house music that they liked, and oh my gosh, was that the right decision. It went off. I felt so good DJing. I mean, I felt like I was battle DJing just for a crowd of people who was enjoying it. So I ran that the rest of the night, just house tune after house tune, Taylor Swift acapella over, Dua Lipa acapella over it, old school, new school. I was just mixing house, taking out the acapella that they had, and just throwing whatever things I think the crowd was singing. Starships. It's always the shows that I don't record that I'm like, man, I wish I would record it, whether video or audio. But there's one remix that I did that I think I am going to do an edit of, and it was Saving Up by Dom Dalla, and I put Love Story over it, and woo-wee, that was awesome. So I'll probably make an edit, so make sure you're following on Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're watching this video, because that really, really worked. I might try to recreate it tonight, but this crowd isn't very much a remix crowd. They want the original versions, still fun, but original versions of music. So I'm gonna dial back the energy just a little bit on that sense, and we'll show you what we did on the dance floor. I'm definitely gonna get more horizontal content for you tonight. That's something that I missed out on the last time. And finally, how am I feeling on my 3rd wedding day in a row? I am feeling fantastic. I woke up this morning feeling a little sore, getting some cramps. However, once I did yoga, went to the gym, drank a ton of water, I felt great. I'm by myself again today, 3rd wedding in a row, and I feel like I just have everything I need. Everything's been on time. The ceremony was flawless, and I'm moving around. Let's see, I was at 21,000 steps yesterday night, and I'm already at 15,000 with about 4 hours left to go. So I'm definitely moving, but I feel great, and I have tomorrow off. Looking forward to going to some Kings Island, and that's it, guys. So, like I said, hopefully you like the dance clips. See you in the next video.
Hold on, stop. We gotta stop the music. We gotta stop the music. We gotta stop the music. Quick story time. Quick story time. I always tell my couples, I will never surprise you on your wedding day. I've just seen it go too crazy. But, every once in a while, someone comes up with a surprise that's so good that I can't pass it up. So if everyone could please face the balcony. You know Jake and Ellen are huge Swifties, so look who we have.